welcome.
Thank you.
Transition been going for you? I know it's obviously been a whirlwind couple weeks.
Yeah, relatively smooth. Some familiar faces over here, so it's been pretty easy transition. It's just same game, just different faces. But I'm excited to put on the pinstripes and play at Wrigley and all the fun stuff that comes with it.
Has that time, that separation since the trade a couple weeks, allowed it to set it a little bit more and start to think about, all right, gearing up for this season, what it's going to be like here versus Houston?
Yeah, everybody, when you get over here, people talk about how awesome it is, and I'm excited to see what it's all about, and some of these fans are great fans and excited to play for the Wrigley faithful, and it's going to be a fun experience for sure.
What was that like for you wrestling with this no trade clause to kind of get the deal done? Personal things you had to take into account outside of baseball before you made the decision?
It was tough. Probably one of the more tougher decisions I've ever made. I should say me and my wife. We sat there and wrestled with it for I couldn't tell you how long. Knowing it was a possibility, but at the same time, you get a chance to go play at Wrigley every day. That's something special, and the opportunity presented itself, and we sat down and had a long conversation about it, and it was one of those things where it was like, let's go do it. So, don't they all? Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah, just nod your head and smile.
But she's on board?
100%. Yeah. Like I said, we talked about it for a long time. It was a very tough decision to make. Obviously, she's from Houston. I'm from Dallas, and spent a majority of my career in Houston. So it was a really tough one, and I'm super thankful for the Astros organization and the opportunity they gave me, but another opportunity presents itself, and just want to take advantage of it.
Reconnecting with Tommy Hottovy so far, he's kind of saying it almost feels like it did so many years ago when you guys were young.
Yeah, it's picked off right where we left off. It's just Tommy is such a great guy, and he's learned a lot in this game, and I can always learn from him. I did when I was 19, watching him and how he went about his business and how he prepared himself for games. It's just carrying yourself with a professional manner, and that's always something that I try to pride myself on, and you can only do it by watching guys in the clubhouse. So watching him, how he carried himself, and then how he attacked his game plan and stuff like that. That was something that I wanted to learn from, and now we get to work together, and it's going to be special. I mean, I think he always had it. He just, when they tell you that you're done playing, it's how else can you help in this game? And I think he's found his calling for sure. He's got a great group of guys down here, and he's got a lot of things that he can give to us and help us get better. So I'm excited.
Speaking of helping, Porter Hodge said he looks at you as a mentor. What do you think that relationship can be? Not only just on the mound, what you guys can bring, but you as a veteran kind of helping him along as he continues to show more and more.
Well, I mean, it's not just him. It's a special group of guys, but him in particular. You guys got to see what he can do last year. The stuff is electric. We just got to work on getting better every day, and that's what spring training's for. And hopefully, I can guide him down a good path, and help him in any way I possibly can. I want to be somebody that all these guys can lean on. I've kind of been there and done it a handful of times. So, any questions that they have on or off the field, I want to be that guy for them.
Does the competition factor still get your juices flowing?
Always, I mean, we're all competitors out here, so we want to compete. That's just what we do. We know how to do, and I'm excited to compete with them, and then on top of that, I'm just excited to compete with them as well.
That competitiveness, Tommy Hottovy described at 19, called you a wild stallion at the time.
I don't know about that.
You just wanted to win at anything and everything. Can you describe your evolution almost, how you don't use that, to pitch high leverage, and how it's changed over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about a stallion or anything like that. I just, like I said, I love to win. And when you win, it's fun. You know, when you lose, it's not very fun. And that, I know it sounds pretty simple and stuff like that, but it really does mean a lot to us when you go out there and you start putting in the work and you start seeing the results and you start stringing wins together. And then when you look up and you're pitching in the World Series, it's dreams that you never thought that you would ever be there. And then when you're finally there, it's let's go take advantage of that as well. You know, we got goals here and all that. You know, it's, you know, win the division. Yeah, that's one of the goals. But winning the World Series is our ultimate goal. And you can't do that if you're not competitive. And when you push each other and you push each other hard and stuff like that, good things happen.
How much would adding Alex Bregman to that mix lead towards those goals of reaching the playoffs and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, he's a special guy. Special guy to have in the clubhouse as well. You know, Astros organization would tell you the same thing. The guy is just he's super competitive. He wants to win, and it doesn't matter what it's at. You know, he wants to be that guy, and to have him in this clubhouse would be, you know, pretty special. You know, Dansby's been there and done it as well. You know, Brazier's done it as well. So having more guys in the clubhouse who have been there and done it, it rolls off onto the younger guys, and it shows a winning tradition. And when you can have that in the clubhouse, you start to build on it. So whatever happens with Breggy, you know, I'm always going to support him no matter what. I just hope I can support him in the same clubhouse.
Is it surprising at all he remains unsigned? I mean, do you think he would kind of, for him, take a little bit to find that spot?
That's a question for him. I can't really answer that for him.
Right, as a player here, do you try to nudge your own team, or do you nudge Bregman? Like, how does that work?
I don't know. I've never really been in this kind of situation, to be honest with you. So, I mean, you know, obviously, like, he's one of my buddies, so we just talk just in general. Like I said, I would love to have him here, but, you know, he's got to make decisions for his family as well.
The championship, so you pitched the last out of the World Series in Cal Tucker Cottage. What's it like just having that now be here?
That'd be special, wouldn't it? You know, I mean, you know, having Tuck here too would be, you know, it's going to be fun. You know, he's a great guy to have in the clubhouse as well. Guy go gets it, and he can swing the bat too. So pretty solid outfield and feel. I mean, it's a solid team all the way around. So I'm excited to see what we can do.
Having won before, the vibe here in spring training, how would you describe it? It's a new situation for you, but just knowing what it takes from beginning to end to win.
Yeah, I mean, the vibe here is exciting. You know, I mean, just we know we have a special team. We know we have the talent to do it. It's just a matter of putting everything together. That's the hardest thing to do. So if you can't put it all together, you're not going to win very much. But, you know, having such a young group of guys who are hungry, who want to go win, I think, you know, you sprinkle in a couple of veterans who have been there and done it. I think this is how you can put a championship team together.
With the team opening in Japan, you know, weekish earlier than normal, how is that impacting how you're preparing these next couple weeks? Are you making any adjustments to be ready for then?
Not so much. I mean, it's towards the later part of spring. You know, the games do count, but I think everybody's going to be full tilt by that point. So I don't know about the back-to-back days. I'll have to talk to Skip about that. But everybody's preparing themselves like opening day is whatever. What day is it?
March 18th?
March 18th. I think that's our opening day, so we'll be ready.
Right, so I couldn't hear what the plan's about, but when you were asked about Bregman, like, have you been essentially recruiting him? Be like, you, me, Tucker, let's run it back in Chicago? Is that the nature of those conversations with Bregman?
I don't think it's recruiting. You know, it's just more of like, hey, how you doing? What are you hearing? And stuff like that. You know, I don't be like, hey, come here. You know, would I like to play with him? 1,000%. I would love to play with him. But like I said, he's got to make decisions for his family as well. So whatever decision he makes, like I said, I'm going to support him in this clubhouse or in another.
You're not nudging Jed every time you see him.
Man, Jed's got his hands full. I'm just trying to stay in my lane.
Do you know when he wants to sign by? Like, I know, like yesterday probably. Does he have a timeline at all?
I don't know. Again, those are questions that y'all got to ask him. I'm sure he would want to sign the day after the season ended, you know, but this is the nature of free agency, and we'll see what happens.
Some of the young guys that helped last year in the minor leagues, waiting to seems like there's kind of different dynamics to this bullpen. So what do you think kind of that makeup?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to ask guys to get big outs. You know, I mean, whether you're comfortable in pitching in the 8th inning, 7th inning, 6th inning, whatever's going to happen, like you're going to have to pitch to get big outs here. And, you know, these young guys are going to figure out real quick, you know, you got to strap it on mentally. And when you can do that, you're going to be able to get some big outs, like I said. And, you know, these young guys are just going to have to take that next step forward.
What have you done over the years to work on the mental game? You brought it up a couple times, like with mechanical issues last year. You're talking about pitching late in games. How have you developed that skill over the years?
Yeah, it's talking to guys who have been in the same situation. You know, there's only select few of people who have played this game at the level that we have played. So whether it be, you know, your mentors when you first get into the big leagues, and you know you've been around for, you know, a couple years, you start asking guys questions. What did you do when you had this or this and that? You know, and you just take bits and pieces from talking to people. You'll find yourself out of the league real quick if you don't make adjustments. And, you know, it's how fast you can make them, and the guys that you talk to and surround yourself with can help you, and they can help your career as well.
Thank you.
One more on Tommy. You said you kind of turned to him during your bullpen yesterday and said, like, this is sort of like a 36-year-old pitcher or something like that. Is that what you had said? Is that kind of the chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, I mean, I think he guessed the mile per hour right on the button, and that's why we were celebrating. I was like, we might as well just walk it off right now.
Do you have any good anecdotes or anything from time back in Red Sox work with him?
You know, I just remember going through stretch and this guy just acting like an absolute clown in stretch. And I, you know, I mean, being 19, you're trying to you know, keep a straight path. You're not trying to goof off. But when you see a 27-year-old just rehabbing with all the GCL guys, it's like, okay, this is awesome. You know, I mean, like I said, just a great guy to be around. And like I said, watching him, you know, how he carried himself in the clubhouse and on the field, it's something that I always wanted to mimic as well. And, you know, just a great person off the field as well.